Sitting in. To the bottom first.
Grass Run Road. Good luck, everybody.
Yep, and a little give and take, guys. May not want to go in double wide into the corner.
Green, green, green.
Got me right here, Brian. Okay.
All right.
So, Todd, I think we had some audio issues. I'm checking on that right now.
Well, I'm hoping we can get him out. I hope the people can hear us. Brian Glass has taken the lead away from Chris McCulloch here in the 7 truck. Before Brian Glass in the 12 Kodak sponsor truck is leading this event here at Darlington. The Bull with the save of a lifetime in 87 series. Check out our 87 series on Tuesday nights. very exciting racing, great racing, clean racing in the Get Her Done Racing League. And Brian Glass made a world-class save. Turned 4 Talladega last lap this last week. And he is now leading this event here at Darlington over Chris McCullough, Vern Margon, Titanium Everhart, and Chris Scales in 5th.
Well, it appears I got our audio issues fixed, so welcome to the race today, guys.
Sunday morning, whatever fun you had last night, that was last night.
Now it's time to get to work, huh, Todd?
It was time for me to get to work, that's for sure. I'd like to thank the Pennsylvania State Police for being so courteous to me last night.
Got your time delta right now with Brian Glass, and currently in the first position in that number 12 truck. The second, McAuliffe, right behind him.
McCullough's right behind him, and Brian Glass is the only truck on the racetrack right now that's turning sub 30-second laps. He is driving off. Look further back in the field here.
Ed Adams trying to make his way through the field there, getting underneath Titanium in the number 17, right on the back bumper of Dode Hoskins in that 66 truck.
Ed Adams going from an EOL, and as I said earlier, which I don't think went out over the air, Ed Adams will come to the front, I believe, up to 7th already. He's passed the 6 trucks, 6 or 7 trucks already. Ed Adams driving to the front in that 5 truck. Dode Hoskins with a great qualifying run today. Dode running in the top 10 right now, 6th position. Ed working that 66 truck, looking for a way around it. Dode Hoskins is not an easy car to pass, whether it's for 5th or 15th.
Looking underneath right there, a little racy.
That's a nice move, man.
Needs to calm himself down a little bit, has to back out of it, gets a little wiggle on the ass end there.
That's how you end up wadding them up at Darlington. I think you can get there. Or you cannot, sir. You see, Ed took that run at him there. Now he's trying to back a little bit. Yeah, himself back up and make another run at it. This is a different racetrack, man. This track is not like other tracks. It's got its own unique thing to it, where it's narrow and the wall's right there the whole time. That's the way you get around here. You've got to drive right next to that concrete, man. That's
There's
scary.
one scraping them off right now.
They call it the Darlington Stripe. Before there was concrete walls, there was Armco barriers here, and it would just go make a stripe right down the side of the car, and that's why they called it the Darlington Stripe. NASCAR's first paved track, Darlington.
Oh, really?
First paved track in NASCAR, and the reason Darlington is shaped like an egg is because the landowner had a fishing pond, and he did not want them digging it up, so they pinched one end of the racetrack shut so he could keep his fishing pond, and that's why Darlington is not a pure oval.
Oh, ain't you just full of useless information, Toadman?
I am, indeed. I'm not the greatest driver, but I know a story about every track. I've been watching NASCAR since I watched the fight at Daytona between Dale Yarborough and the Allison brothers. I watched it live on TV. I'm proud to say it.
Yeah, there's definitely some things going on here, Toadman. We're on our 14th lap of 147, but what my understanding is we got 50 laps of fuel on a full fuel run. but we're looking at pit window about 45 to 47 laps.
Darlington tears up tires faster than it uses up gasoline. And I believe we'll see that the lap times will fall off dramatically here. These guys will be going so much slower on old tires that you can short pit. And if you play your strategy to short pit the truck correctly, man, you can make up many, many seconds on a guy. And he don't even know it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because drivers are basically saying they're short one set of tires to actually make this run easy.
And that's by design, is it not?
It is absolutely by design. At Get Her Done Racing here, we like to throw challenges your way, whether that be a fuel run, a tire run, or what have you. Definitely trying to keep everybody on their toes and calculating and do mathematics as you're driving that truck 150, 160 mile an hour around that racetrack.
Tough to do the math when you're trying to figure out how to get it into turn 3.
Absolutely.
Adam's still running that top groove, trying to work that 66 truck. Meanwhile, Dode is come up on Vern, and he is going to make a move here. Dode Hoskins going to try to dive under the 99 truck.
Yeah, they're being patient out there. It's looking pretty good. Ed saw what his truck could do, and get himself in trouble there. But he's backed off a little bit. He's gathered himself up, and he's just kind of going to ride and get some laps under him, I think, at this point. I'm going to go ahead and move us up to the front of the class here. Check out our Brian Glass, our current leader with the 7 in tow.
Chris McCulloch has closed that gap now on Brian Glass, and this will be where you'll see tire management come in here. This is Ed Adams. You see Ed Adams not pushing the issue back there. That's Ed. He's used those tires up to get those 7 spots that he made up. And Brian Glass may have used a good bit of his good up, jumping out to a big lead. And now McCulloch's laid back. He knows what kind of lap times he can run, and he's going to make that move. There he goes. Chris McCulloch to the lead here.
Chris does a nice job, and Brian does a very veteran job by not pushing the issue right now, keeping them tires underneath them and keeping everything going. Gonna stay close, make them look in that mirror, make them make a mistake, but definitely, these guys are gonna be racy later.
No doubt about it. And second place is better than 2 minutes repairs, so let him go.
Well, you got to think about it too. If Brian would sit there and argue with him through turns 1, 2, 3, and 4, Brian's giving up some precious time letting that third place car get caught up to these guys, which have a great lead above that third place car, Gary Kipfer, right now.
Who I'm remiss in not talking about Gary Kipfer, because Gary Kipfer has come from, I believe, seventh place starting position, and he is making his way up in there to be in contention too, and third in that Napa truck.
Yeah, that Napa truck's a pretty truck, and like I said, I think that's why Brian let that 7 go, because sitting there battling it out is going to pull Gary Kipfer right into the back bumper of those two.
Exactly. You go ahead, let's drive away together.
Yep. You can see from the front of Gary's truck right now, he's going into turn 1, has no visibility into that second place of Brian the Bull Glass.
There's the view out the nose of Gary Kipfer's truck, and as you can see, the leaders are not in sight from the nose of his truck. Again, take your time, run your race. I have a philosophy. If you beat your own mistakes and you beat the racetrack, beating the other cars will be easy. Race your own mistakes first and the racetrack.
Well, we got 22 of our 147 down here. We're going to pop on back, and we're just going to run through here real quick. Currently in first position, you have Christopher McCullough. Second.
Toad Hoskins calling the booth and looking for Coco to get in the race.
And you got Gary Kipper in third position with Vernon Markheim in fourth. Dode Hoskins. Oh, we switched over. Dode Hoskins into fourth position, or fifth position. I think Todd's taking over for me. The Ed Adams in 6th. And then we have Michael Titanium Everhart in 7th position. Lance Ripka in the 8th position. And Kevin Bruner, number 68, in the 9th. And to round out our top 10 is Jared Knight.
Jared Knight, the newcomer, putting in a good show today.
Phil the Hitman Manzo sitting in 11th. Todd, you want to pick it up from here, buddy?
Nick, Scout Godina, he's single. Oh, wait, I like his new driver info there. It's very nice.
Benches above the wall.
A couple trucks behind the wall. I noticed Chris Scales is out of the race. Let's jump back to our leader, maybe.
Just putting our technical
There he is.
stuff back together.
Try to do a field rundown, mess us up for 15 laps. But here we go. Chris McCulloch still leading Brian Glass. Brian Glass still turning 29.8 second laps. Glass is a fast guy here today.
We're making an executive decision that the Toad Man's not permitted to go to any weddings Saturday night prior to broadcasting.
Yes, we are. Yes, this is just a good idea. It's a good rule to have here. The leaders now beginning to lap trucks. There's the Glass and McCulloch have passed Nick Godina there to get by him. Nick moved up, let them get by.
That 7 and 12 are still battling each other, huh?
They are. Brian Glass is not letting him go very far away from him. Let's stay right there with him.
Looks like those leaders may have went out a little fast. They're starting to come back to us.
Gary Kipfer commenting on how the leaders may have used their tires up some and they're maybe closing in. I'm going to check the interval. You'll see.
I just heard, I believe it was Nicholas said they're catching the lap cars there, which is slowing them down getting around.
Yeah, Gary's probably looking at the interval changing and feeling like he's catching up, and that may be the case. But it could just be that they had to lift a couple times to get by Nick. There's the bull all over the back of that 7 truck now, going to make a move on the inside.
Oh, the Bull's not going to make it easy now. It's a race. We're not driving down a highway.
Nope. So Brian Glass back to the lead. 30 laps into 147. Sorry about that. Little view of Dode Hoskins for a minute. Back to Brian Glass in the lead. I want to try and watch these leaders come past these lap cars. There's always, this track is so tricky, and the way you pass here is kind of goofy. So, every pass is an adventure here. You see the 112 going low. This is what you do at Darlington. Leaders usually prefer the high groove, and it's tough to keep your truck down out of the way. That's what makes it so interesting to pass here, no matter who you're passing.
I want to give a shout out to Phil the Hitman Manzo, doing exactly what he should do out there. He's a lap truck, got out of the way, didn't hinder those 2 drivers. Really just taking care of business, being respectful out there. With a newcomer like that, you'd like to see that kind of driving.
Absolutely. Being the fastest guy in real life and in iRacing, being the fastest, when you try to run long real races or realistic type races, being the fastest guy don't work. And in this league especially, it emphasizes clean driving, the ability to not hit the other cars, keep your car off the wall. This is how you do well here.
Exactly. I'm going to go to just our broadcast view right now and just kind of let our goes around. I want to just give a quick shout out before our first pit stop. I want to give a shout out to, let me see here, Jared Knight. Jared Knight proposed to his now fiance, Bobby Leanne Brooks. Proposed to her on Friday night on her birthday. Took her to Kay's Jewelers and said, surprise, honey. Pick out the ring you want. We're getting married. They've been married for about 2.5 years. Or been dating about 2.5 years. And Jared Knight's a real excited young man right now. And we want to wish them the best of luck. Jared Knight and now fiance Bobby Leanne Brooks. Congratulations, you two.
For sure, Jared. Way to go, buddy.
Hey, Gary, sorry about that. I saw you coming. I was going to get down low.
No problem.
Yeah, it's real nice to see these guys. You know, we become friends. We become, compadres, so to speak, right? And nice to see that we're going to have a happy couple coming up soon.
For sure. You know, you develop friendships on here, and you get to know these people, and so many times you'd never ever get to meet them. It was great for Coco and I to actually be in the same city and get together and actually see someone in person, man. You don't see people that you talk to online. It was really great.
Hell, I think we live 45 minutes away. We can hang out.
For sure.
Yeah, Dode, man, just putting down the laps here. I love his saying, I'm old, but you're slow because you're reading the back of my bumper.
That's actually absolutely true, man. And Dode is a great guy.
Absolutely. We got this field pretty strung out right now there, buddy.
Yeah, Darlington will do that. It is just it's very, like I said, the drop off in the tires, and you wear them out, and that guy gets real slow. And then the guy that didn't, seems so much faster, but it's just because the other guy slowed down so much.
All right, so we're at lap 37. We're expecting pit stops within the next 10 or 15 laps. Would you say, Todd?
I would say so, yes. And that we're looking at Ed Adams right now, and he is the strategist, man. I mean, when I'm racing, I there's a couple guys that I'll watch, and when I hear him saying 5 pitting, I got to think about my strategy, because if Ed Adams is pitting, you might want to think about it too, because he has done the math already.
Yeah, and I don't have to.
Right. There's Mike Everhart now coming right up on the back of Ed, closing the gap. Going to be very interesting here coming up. I'm going to take us back to the leader. Oh. That's not the leader. Whoops, yes it was. My apologies there for my technical inefficiency. Brian Glass knocking him down here. He almost out to almost a 2-second lead now over Chris McCullough. That is a long way, man. There you can see their current lap times are showing now. Brian Glass at 32:11 is a full 3 seconds slower than he ran at the start of the race on new tires. 3 seconds. So if you pit your truck now, if you pit your truck before he does, theoretically, you could make up 3 seconds a lap. And that's a lot.
That is a ton.
So this pit strategy is key here. It's very important. Great to say also, another thing we see in this league, and we see it all the time, is long green flag races. If you're tired of running official, if you're tired of having a caution every 5 laps, this is the place to be. You come in here and run 160 laps and maybe see 1 or 2 cautions. That's real racing.
And we got pit strategies, tire strategies. You got guys who are patient. You got guys that are aggressive. I mean, the thing is racing guys week after week after week. You kind of start to know their tendencies. That's what makes a league so great.
Yeah, I greatly prefer league racing over official. It's just where it's at.
We have a long pit stop right now in the 12th position of Lance Ripka. Lance is sitting in the pits for some reason. I don't know why. It looks like he might have scraped and hit the wall there.
But I think everybody's got the right side scratched up some.
Yeah, I see some.
Oh, no,
wood
that's
damage
wrinkled
there.
up.
That's wrinkled up a little bit.
Dude, all over the back of Vern now.
Way to pounce, Vernon.
I think Vernon actually
Vern
just
passed
passed him.
Getting higher and higher every corner.
Yeah, we'll go see that. Let's look at that pass real quick for you.
Sounds good. He just took advantage of Dode getting a little bit higher and higher on the entry, and he just made his move down low, and that's hard to do here. It's hard to pass on entry at Darlington. It's much easier to pass on exit here.
Back to our
After
live
leaving
line.
the corner, getting a run off the corner is the way you get by him.
Okay, we're at 46. We actually see people coming in now at this point.
Pitting this time, 7 pitting this time.
33 pitting this time. Burns pitting this time.
Trying to see who's coming in the pit lane.
Cars calling out pit stops. The second place truck's going to be coming to pit lane this lap, as is Vern Margheim in the 4th place truck. I heard them calling out their pit stops. We should be seeing them coming to pit road here. There's your leader, Brian Glass, entering pit road, followed by the 7. 7 lighting up, locking up the tires coming in. There you're seeing the first 3 trucks there.
Yeah, they all come in at this point.
Handing the lead over to Gary Kipfer currently. But this is the place where if they pit, like I said, you got to go. You got to get in there and get yours too, or they're going to be so much faster than you.
Looks like Brian Glass coming down pit road right there.
68 pit now. 108 pit out.
It's a nice little race off of pit road with the 7 and Brian Glass there. Trying to see who comes out of here first for us, guys.
Brian Glass will get down. He will leave pit road first, followed by the 7. I saw the 7 locking up his brakes entering pit road. We'll see if he calls it. I hope he got it woed down there to get to pit road speed, or he'll be coming back.
Dode Hoskins jumping into pit lane right now, as you can see, behind Gary Kipfer, who's already in his box, getting them right side tires.
5 pitting.
5's jumping in at this point. Seems like Ed Adams is gonna go ahead and play the whole fuel mileage. Mike Everhart comes in with him as well.
They're both on pit road. Currently, the leader
I'm exiting.
is Vernon Margheim. Oh, can't be right. Mike Everhart. Getting confusing now. Sorry about that, folks. I believe this is going to cycle out with Brian Glass.
Yeah, I have it
Still in the
right
lead.
now on our pit grid, and it looks like we got a bunch of trucks coming out right now.
Adams off pit road. Gadina off pit road.
We're back on track with Vernon Margheim. They were in about, what, 47, 49, right?
Correct.
A little bit of subtle differences between a few, but within 2 laps.
Yeah, not enough to make a big difference.
I think people were worried about those tires, to be honest with you, getting as much as they can out of that first set.
Oh, for sure. You try and keep some in the bank, you know, but there's not enough to go around here today.
two tire changes, correct? At that, so you have the one you start with, and then 2 tire changes for the truck race, which is 100% length of normal truck races. So if they run 147, we run 147 at all tracks that we do under the truck series. So the truck series are a little longer than your other tracks, but they are the truck length.
Yeah, it's nice to run long ones. I like running long races. Pit stops have cycled now to where Brian Glass has reassumed the lead. Chris McCulloch in second.
Appreciate that.
Gary Kipfer in third place in the 9 truck, and Vern Margam in fourth in the 99. Dode hanging in there. Dode on pit lane right now. He was holding that spot. Dode's bringing the 66 truck down pit road. And so our pit stops are cycling out. I'm not sure if Dode might have waited a couple laps too long.
Either waited a couple laps too long, got that Darlington stripe, or he got a penalty. I'm thinking he got the Darlington stripe there, and he's going for repairs.
Could be. We'll see here. That ain't no pass-through.
It looks like he's getting some right side tires. Hopefully he wanted those, right?
Right, correct. Got to check that box.
Left side's going on as well. He's getting repairs. You know, that does bring us back to Brian Glass, who definitely shows us in the lead position, but that puts behind Kevin Bruner, Jared Knight, Dode Hoskins, Nicholas Scott, Phil Hitman Manzo, Lance Ripka, and Chris Gales laps down. 1 lap down at least.
Yes. Scales withdrew early. I'm not sure what happened to him. He's usually a player.
Chris Gales looks like he might have left the building.
I do believe he has.
So out of the race right now, we have Chris Scales, and never took the grid is Henry Bishaw, showed up and bailed out. Todd Gilly made a mistake and went back to the hauler real quick, realized he was at the wrong track on the wrong date.
Yeah.
And Dode Hoskins sitting in pit lane right now.
Need to charter an airplane right now.
You like them rubbing that in on you, brother.
That's okay, man. I got it coming. Felt bad. Did not have my technical ducks in a row this morning. But yet here we are. Following Brian Glass around Darlington, South Carolina at 100 and some miles an hour.
It's kind of tacky, but I will let you guys know, to put this on for you guys, it doesn't just click a button and you're good. There's a lot of things that go into this, and sometimes we might have some technical difficulties, but I believe we bring you good racing and good commentary during the race. But sometimes we may have a couple of buttons we forgot to click. So this is not our profession. This is our love. This is our hobby. So bear with us.
Brian Glass continuing to lead here, out to a 1.5 second lead over the number 7 truck of Chris McCulloch. Kipfer in third, Margam fourth, and Everhard fifth. It is settled in here too. They are stretched all the way around the racetrack, and man, oh man, getting into the meat of the race here where it's long. This is a long race.
Dode Hoskins appears to have called the hauler, called the family, said, "I'm coming home."
They used it up.
I got no reason to race you, Vern. I'm just following you.
Brian Glass making a move under a lap truck there.
Thank you, Philip.
62 laps in. Brian Glass still stretching it out here. 1 second lead over Chris McCullough.
You know, Ed Adams sitting in the 6th position right now. Moved up from the back of the field to the 6th position. He does look like that hood might be banged up a little bit. Not quite sure if that's my graphics or if he hit something.
That's that little looks like the fender's distorted there. I think that's came from the update and the paint map's not fitting absolutely correctly. Was true on my truck as well. That little wrinkle there, it looks like under the hood along the top of the fender.
Message to Ed Adams. No, I got a Darlington stripe down the side of him. I'm thinking that's Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not just graphics, my friends.
There you go.
Pushed once too hard, didn't he?
It's you're going to get against the wall here, even if you don't wreck it. You know, I mean, the tail's hanging out, and you're right there. You're only a foot away. Then the problem then is the rear of the truck contacts the wall and pushes the front out against it, and then you're in it, and that's when you're in trouble. When the front tire gets into the wall, then you're in trouble.
So I'm sure that truck feels a little off to Ed right now.
It has certainly stopped his progress towards the front.
Well, one of the things we do here is the incident points. So, you know, we tally them up, and you have to stay below a certain incident level to not receive a penalty here at the Get It Done Racing League. And Ed really strives to have 0 incidents on his racing.
One of the lowest incident counts in the league, Ed Adams. Guy keeps it off the wall. Yeah, you can't just fly around smacking it off the wall. And in this league, you'll get the X's and then you'll get the penalty.
Nobody wants that.
Mm-mm. Warm day here, Darlington. 82 degrees ambient, 89 degree track temperature. That's not a tire killer, but that's warm enough.
It's just give him a little grip, right? Give him a little grip.
Oh, yeah. When the asphalt's, 150, then the tire thing changes then. They go away so much faster.
Yeah, that's going to be different than our Cup Series tonight at 7 p.m. Our Cup Series, I believe, is at Darlington as well. The Next Gen Cups seem to be loose here at the Get Her Done Racing League on the setup that we use, but it's a lot of fun. We have a big handful on the car, but man, these guys run really, really well, and we have a real good season going on right now.
10-4, I'll take your high, then.
Big car counts and long green flag runs. If that's what you're looking for, this is the place.
Trying to save fuel.
If I find a line I'm comfortable with, I'll let everybody know.
Have a good day, guys. I got disqualified.
Try again tonight. Come on back.
I got work tonight. I'll see you Tuesday.
10-4.
Sounds good. See you Tuesday.
Nick Cadena announced that he has reached the incident limit and he is out.
There's your interval between Ed Adams and Kevin Bruner right now. I'm going to switch over real quick
For sure.
to our lap history with Ed Adams and Kevin Bruner over the last 5 laps. Ed appears to be pulling away from that, but you got Brian Glass coming up and around here.
Brian Glass closing on the back of Ed Adams' truck. Sees him right in front of him. Or if you can get that 5 truck a lap down, you do it. Brian Glass putting on a show today. He came to show it today.
Yeah, he did. He's definitely pushing that truck around this track really well.
Him and McCulloch been the class of the field all race.
You're welcome, Joe.
Take a look around the track real quick for you guys. You'll see we got them over in turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. We got them all around the racetrack at this point.
They are scattered about.
Want to do some, what do they call it, the administrative house cleaning here. I'm proud to announce that Get Her Done Racing League is now a featured league on Sim Racer Hub. Check out Sim Racer Hub for all your iRacing points tracking needs. Give them a look-see, and that's what we use to keep our championships in line, keep our race points in line, our bonus points, and everything else. Check out Sim Racing Hub.
Critical key piece of information for the drivers. It helps you set up your race strategies. You got to know, where do you stand? What do I need to do, especially when it comes up to chase time? You know, it helped me a great deal looking at the points and looking at the incidents and looking at who's got what and how can I move my way up. And it's a great tool.
Absolutely. Here's your current pit strategies. We have Brian Glass. Assuming that they're going to want to look around. We got 47, 47, lap 48, 47, 49. Everhart stretched it with Ed Adams, 49. Remember I said one extra lap trying to use them tires as best they could.
Mm-hmm. And who knows? They may have figured out something that they can go a little further. I don't know. I don't think you're not going to be able to eliminate a whole pit stop here, but I haven't been able to do the math that far. I don't think you can eliminate a whole stop here. And I don't know if 2 tires works here either. I don't think so.
Well, the problem with the 2 tires is you can't, when you do rights and lefts, it counts off in iRacing. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of wonky, right?
Yes. They sure handle funny on 2 tires.
Well, sometimes I'll get them to loosen me up, or you know, if it runs real tight, I'll get them to loosen me up, and I'll do a swap. Some tracks, like your Daytona tracks and things like that, you really don't have too much tire wear in iRacing, so you know it's kind of just throw them on because the full fuel tank takes as long as it does to get 2 tires, so you might as well grab something. So in a big track like Talladega or Daytona, I'll grab my right side first, my left side second, and my right side third.
It's a great strategy. It got me to 7th place at Talladega in the 87s on Tuesday.
You know, if you're going to get there a full tank of gas, you might as well grab the 2 tires at that point.
Sure.
Thank you, Vern. Good run, buddy.
Don't want to give a shout out to Mike Everhart. He got that truck into the top 5, 4th place now. Just got past Vern Margheim, and Mike Everhart's here today for sure.
He's definitely looking really good today. Let's hope he keeps them tires underneath him. Mike's been having a rough stint across all series. He seems to be the magnet for the front bumper of many trucks and many cars this season.
Oh, I tell you, Mike's a great guy. I love Mike Everhart. He's been a good friend to me since I joined the league, and he hooked me up with a used wheel that he had, and he's just a great guy. Very helpful dude for everybody in the league, man. Great resource and a real asset to this league.
Well, we do have our chat live right now on our YouTube side. We're looking to get more chat and more interactiveness with our stuff. I want to give a shout out to our buddy Danny Vaughn at XJ Simulations. XJ Simulations, check him out. But Danny Vaughn's one of our veteran drivers, shows up for multiple series, and he's out there chatting to me, talking about the X's and O's haunt him daily. So,
Long gone Danny Vaughn. Wish he was in here tonight in this race, but man, I do like him too. Danny Vaughn's a great guy, man. We've had a lot of fun.
He's just too damn fast in that GT3 series, I'll tell you that. I try to learn every time I can.
Oh, my Porsche's so loose, I can't drive it. Oh, wait a minute, I got to go take my winner's circle picture.
Yeah. This Porsche is too loose, I can't drive it. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, he wins 2 in a row.
What do they say in Pittsburgh? Scratch my back with a hacksaw.
That's right. Brian Glass, your leader now. You come up on the back of the 5 truck looking to put Ed Adams a lap down.
Oh, that's not looking good. Ed's probably pissed off.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm pissed off, but you don't see the 5 truck go a lap down very often.
Not sure.
Oh, Ed's got it all wrinkled up. The right side, Ed's got more than a Darlington stripe on the side.
A little bit of damage in it, plow tight. Yeah, I got some right front damage.
A lot of people talking about damage to their trucks now. They've all been bouncing off these walls now, 85 laps. We're about 5 to 9 laps, I'd say, 5 to 10 laps away from another round of pit stops coming up here. If you do the simple math, 47 laps they stopped. That would be 94 if you multiplied that times 2. And so we're going to be looking at them pretty soon coming to pit road again.
You know what makes me mad about our timing and scoring is we don't have how many incidents a driver has, because iRacing doesn't publish that, I heard, through my vendor here for our timing and scoring, that so that you can't cheat and say, oh, he only has 1 X left, I'm gonna tap him and get him knocked out of the race.
Probably a good policy, I think. I mean, it would be nice for us to be able to know, but yeah, I mean, if all you need is 1 and I'm going to win, there you go. Bang, a little tap, it's over.
87 of our 147, as you pointed out, Todd.
Pit stops are coming.
Real nice field today, starting at 15 drivers, putting it down on these trucks today.
Minus the broadcaster that parked this truck on pit road. Yeah, still 14 trucks out here, and as long as there's more than 2, it's a race.
That's what I say.
That's what the guy that taught me how to go-kart race told me that. I said, man, we don't have a big car count here today. He said, if there's more than 2 go-karts, it's a race. Get your ass out there.
I'm finishing first or second, so I don't care.
That's right. Top 5 guaranteed. Get in the car.
Well, isn't that what your sponsors would say?
Absolutely. You're getting in it. We paid, you're in. Getting interesting here. This little lap car battle here with Brian Glass, your leader, right up behind Ed Adams and Vern Margheim right in front of him. My gosh. Brian Glass will be lapping cars in the top 5 here if he gets by these two, but I believe pit stops are going to come. I don't think you're going to see Brian press the issue here while he's leading the race 5 laps from a pit stop to get by a lapped car.
Well, one of the things that you get in trouble with here, and this is iRacing in general, just any racing. I mean, all the way around, even real life. You know, you got Brian Glass sitting here in the lead position. He's sitting there bumping on the back door of Ed Adams. Now, Ed doesn't want to go a lap down. Ed's going to race him hard, which is going to bring that second place guy up to the back end of Brian Glass. Brian's going to think that's a kind of a dick move, right, guys? But it's, you know, it's racing. I'm not going to let you by so I can go a lap down unless you catch me, you know, 0.5 a lap.
True. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of times, you know, get up out of the way, let that leader go by. But times like this, we're 5 laps from a pit stop. I don't want to go a lap down here, man. Maybe you're going to make a mistake. So I don't, you know, you don't just have to move over and let him go by all the time. And Ed's doing a great job of staying out in front of him, man. That dude's been fast the whole race, and not too many people been able to stay out in front of Brian today. But Ed's keeping that gap and hanging on there. He's trying to stretch it to that pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, just take, for instance, if Ed would let him go, you know, and just kind of let off a little bit, let him go by, and a caution comes out. Well, now he's got the wave around instead of actually being on the lead lap and just running it around a lap.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you're fast enough that you can stay with the guy and keep the lucky dog in your pocket. But if he gets by one more car and it comes out, I mean, then you know, that didn't work out. But
Yep.
we haven't seen a lot of cautions here today, so we'll see what happens here. That's not a good strategy for today, I don't think. Say, well, okay, I'll stay behind him and get the lucky dog. We haven't seen a lot of cautions, so
I don't see a lucky dog in his future.
no, I gotta go. Ed's gotta go. Gonna take a little walk back through the field here. There's your leader, Brian Glass. Second place, Chris McCulloch.
Looks like he's coming down pit lane.
McCulloch's coming down pit road,
Oh.
maybe. No, just got low. Oh, that could be a problem for him.
Wasn't he saying he had a little bit of a tight situation going after he swiped the wall?
Yeah, I think he did. That truck is definitely off the pace somewhat from where he was.
7 pit
McCulloch calling for his pit stop here. Kevin Bruner going to come to pit road also. He just announced. There the two of them go. Entering pit road on lap 95. Gotta believe you're going to see Glass, Kipfer, and Adams here shortly.
Adams is going to push it a couple more laps. He wants to go with a 50-lap run. I'm going to bet you.
Okay.
I'm thinking. That's my thoughts right now. We know he can get 49, but can he get 50?
Right. And how many times have you heard them say, 5's out of gas? On the last lap. Crossing the start-finish line, 5's out of gas.
Speaking of our buddy from XJ Simulations, Danny there, he benefited from one of those, I believe.
Yes, he did. Ed Adams ran out of gas on the very last lap, and I think Ed needed to go about 500 more feet with the motor lit, and he couldn't. And Danny Vaughn, home gone Danny Vaughn, took the win.
Never give up.
Never. Never give in. Never. In any endeavor, great or small.
Bruner's bringing that truck in, or brought that truck in.
Gary Kipfer back to the lead
68 pit now.
on the pit stop there by your leaders.
See, I don't think the bull has enough in the tank to make it for the full run unless he backs that down a bit.
Yeah, I think you might be right. The tire thing is one thing, but the fuel issue is another. And I heard somebody say, I don't know who it was because I couldn't catch it, but they said they couldn't believe that Darlington is going to come down to a fuel mileage race because it's almost always tires. But we might see something here that we're not thinking about. That these guys have a fuel strategy that we have not thought up.
Right now, you're what, 49? 49 laps.
Mm-hmm.
I expect Ed to come in if he didn't already.
No, he has not. Ed's currently 4th on the lead lap. Third. There you see the pit stop strategy. The stint links there. Gary Kipfer running 48 and 50 laps.
Coming in now.
Looks like he's coming to pit road on lap 99. So yeah. Those guys are running 50 lap runs. We'll see if this shakes out. I don't know that it's going to make a difference.
I just don't know if Brian Glass in 3rd position right now has enough in the tank to pull it. I have not seen anything above 50.
He's looking at a splash and go just to get to the end, I think.
Yeah, which will hurt. Or a caution.
And if Ed and Gary do not need that stop, then they will have done it. Yes. Mike Everhart also on pit road. I just saw his truck as Gary Kipfer come to a stop in his stall.
Gary's showing 51, but came in on lap 50. Cross the start-finish line in the
right. Correct.
Adams on 50 now.
Adams on pit road.
I think that's what he's going for, buddy.
Yes.
Funny, Markheim put a 51 up too, so he came in on lap 50 at the end of 50 there and crossed the line.
Cycles back around, and we got that Kodak truck in the lead again. Ed Adams back on track. I'm going to be interested to see the gap, see if with Brian Glass being right behind Ed Adams before the pit stop there, we'll see if Ed had a better pit stop and if he comes out ahead of Brian or behind him.
Thank you, Jared.
Ed's going to be pedaled down here now. Watch the 5 truck start turning some laps. I'll bet you.
Yeah, but I think he better be careful that he doesn't waste them up. I don't know how much tire they have left after they're 50, right? So if they're sitting down in the 20 percentile, he still needs some at the end.
True. He's got 34 to go. Or no, 44 to go. He's on fresh tires and a full tank of fuel with 44 to go. I say Ed's hitting the go button, though. We're going to switch our tower to times, and we can look at lap times.
Gary and Brian, I'll drop low on the back track here. Thank you.
That is their last time they ran.
True.
Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, man.
Just make sure you put that back for our automated runs.
What's that?
I said just make sure you put that back for for our automated when we're not broadcasting.
Right.
112 exit and pit, so 112 exit and pit.
Ed Adams coming on the back bumper of Vernon Markheim.
And he did get a great pit stop because Ed is on the lead lap in 5th place, and the leader is not right behind him. So that was great pit work by Ed Adams. Great green flag stop, keep the 5 truck in contention.
We got a little up and down going on here between them, as you can see through their past 5 laps.
My correction, Ed is a lap down. I started seeing the 7 truck behind him on the racetrack, and I had the wrong data up on the screen. Ed is, in fact, 1 lap down. You believe.
What's kind of funny is it's showing Brian Glass. Let's see. Brian Glass does have everyone a lap down except Christopher McCullough.
Yes. He's picking him up and putting him down. Here, I thought Adams had a great pit stop and got out in front of him there and kept himself on the lead lap. I was wrong. It's the Brian Glass and Chris McCullough show right now. Unless those cats have to stop for a splash. And it'll be interesting to see.
You can see that gap with Christopher McCullough behind Brian Glass, which is actually behind Gary Kipfer in that number 9 truck.
Yeah, it's 12 seconds.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a view of that. It's a rough one there, guys.
So far, Darlington has messed with the bull, and it is getting the horns.
If you look there from the front of Brian Glass's truck, there you can see where the number 7 is coming off of turn. What is that? Turn 4 there.
Yeah.
Pretty big gap.
I'll tell you what else you can see when he turns into the corner. You can see that the right side of the 12 truck is like when they took it off the hauler. It's perfect. It's not. He doesn't have a Darlington stripe. He's kept it out of the wall. It's not all banged up. He's still got a full front end on it for downforce entering the corner. Brian Glass is keeping his truck clean, and that's why it's staying fast.
Yeah, if you look at Chris McCullough, we're not able to say that for Chris.
Not really.
Got a little dang there on the right front, took out that light, or where the light would be.
And you can actually see the difference as you look at the front of McCullough's truck. When Chris comes down into the corner here, you can see that the front of his truck is not yawing to the side and loose like he wants it to get through the corner. To get through the corner, his truck's not nice and loose for him to turn like Brian's is.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's kind of woolly-gonking through there a little bit.
Oh, it's super tight. You can see that Brian's truck is yawed beautifully to the side, and it's loose. Loose is fast. I believe Chris's truck is probably real tight right now.
Eric hit the wall, slowed right down, and just before I ran into him, he got DQ'd.
Brian just got passed by Kipfer getting his lap back, so that puts Gary Kipfer in the top 3 on the lead lap.
There you go. Again, veteran move on Brian's part, right? Lap down truck right on my back bumper. I'm leading the race. You go ahead, buddy. Gary Kipfer has 2 lap fresher tires. Not much of a difference, but 2 lap fresher tires. And I believe Brian's doing a little gas saving, to be honest with you. I still say that he's short. He could be. Gary's kept his truck real clean, too. Only a little bit of wrinkle there.
Thanks, Vernon.
It'll take us back for a minute if I can. Let's see if I can see this here. Hold on, let's go.
That was me. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to go back, and I just want to see if I can pull this up real quick. This is the Ed Adams pass against Vernon Markheim. There he goes, gets underneath them there, and Vernon doesn't fight him at all. Vernon lets him go by, knowing that Ed's on a mission.
He is. And they're not on the same lap. Vernon might as well let him go.
Back to our live view.
Gary Kipfer, while I want to give a shout out to Gary as well, another league admin, one of the most helpful people you'll ever find. Nicest guy in the world. Gary Kipfer did great things helping me get acclimated to league racing again, and I just wanted to tell him thanks. There's the man, the bull. Leader of the race here, Brian Glass, been setting the pace since the green flag. And there's only been one flag in this race, and that's green. Brian Glass has been setting the field on fire since then.
I went to a rear chase view, not the best view for our broadcast, but the only way we could see the interval between him and the number 7 of Christopher McCullough.
Yeah, it looks like Brian's on a qualifying run.
You can hear him get out of that motor there if you listen. He's holding it. That truck does appear to be a little loose. I'm going to turn up volume here.
Yeah, he's got the tail of his hanging out. That's the way it has to be. That's how you get around here. That's how you get that straight. Back in the old days when race cars started life as street cars, they would use that guardrail to set them straight, to get the back of the car under them to go down the straightaway. They did it on purpose. They would tap the right rear against the Armco to straighten the car out. It's insane.
Oh yeah, we've got looks like here Jonathan Knight, Nick Godina, Ripka, Hoskins, Scales, Bishaw, and Gilly out of this race.
Yeah. I think what you see, I know Nick IPL'd out. I believe Ripka the same way. Not sure what happened with Dode. Darlington's tough, man. You can get 8X here and not even have a caution. Just reef it off the wall 4 times. That's all it takes. 2X each time. See ya. You can see the bull's hands. He's not getting carried away there. Look at his hands, real still. Not a lot of steering wheel, not swatting flies in there. That's some good driving.
Got a shout out to James Strickland, who's jumped on our chat here. Somebody's headed out to the Bulls house here saying he's too focused. He needs some interruptions.
Well, I don't think the Bull's going to answer the door right now.
Might be a little busy with 25 laps to go.
Yeah, you're going to be knocking for a while. 25 to go here at Darlington. Brian Glass has lapped the entire field up to, but not including Gary Kipfer in 3rd place. The Bull just setting the place on fire.
Yeah, you're looking at lap 122. He was a plus 17 on top of McCullough there.
Half a lap. Wow. I mean, we see long green runs, and we see, guys getting laps down, but my goodness, we don't often see 17-second gap from 1st to 2nd, man.
We got a whole straightaway ahead of the 2nd place Christopher McCullough at this point.
Timing and scoring shows that little by little the bull is catching.
Oh, he gets right into the wall
The
there.
wall again. Let's see how much that slowed him down. A full second. He turned to 33 on that lap, smacking it off the wall. And then the more you bend him up, the more you bag him up, the harder it is to keep it off that wall. You know, it just gets worse. It just compounds itself.
Well, that's the thing. When you get to the last 20, last 10, you want to push harder and try to gain those precious seconds, right? Or, tenths of a second. And you push so hard that you should just calm it down, keep doing what you've been doing. It's worked for you the whole race.
Sometimes the gap to the guy behind you is more important than the one in front of you, right? I mean, especially with 20 to go. Can I make enough hay to catch him? Probably not. Can I go fast enough to wreck and lose the spot I have? Absolutely. I can do that.
Ed Adams coming at him to try to get that lap. Or is that, I'm sorry, that was Gary Kipfer trying to just stay in it. No, I was right. That is Ed Adams behind Brian Glass trying to get that lap back here.
Ed has hit the go button. Brian Glass is pulling to the bottom of the racetrack and slowing down.
Looks like he might be going into the pits right now. Oh, he is. He's going in now. Oh, he tried to go.
He missed it. I think he might have missed pit road, Pete. Coco, I believe he missed pit road. And, wow.
Oh, but that's why you don't give up right there.
That's right. That's why I said you race your own mistakes and you race the racetrack first. Not sure what's going on here now. Bull seriously off the pace.
He's only at lap 34 in this stint. I was wondering if he was thinking about going in for his stop and go, splash of fuel.
Splash.
He's low again.
I don't know what's going on there with the bull. Maybe he's going that slow, thinking he's going to make it. I don't know.
Brian, I really needed you to lap me once more.
I think you're watching Brian the Bull Glass on conservation mode right now.
I agree.
My fuel strategy.
These guys are talking about fuel strategies, man. There's guys that are going to try to make it, and there's guys that might make it.
I'm telling you, Ed Adams is the one that's going to be doing it. He thought about that, and just the way that he went it with that 50 and a 50. He did a 49 and a 50.
Good race, everybody. That's it.
Yes.
McAuliffe just went out.
Axis. Let's see if we can see what happened to him.
It looks like we got a crash. I'll head it back and see what we got here. Let me shut down one of the other things here.
I think McCullough watered it up.
Coming into the turn here.
And we had seen him off the wall several times, and I do believe I think that was just one X too many, Coco.
He didn't disappear, though. He called a tow.
Yeah, he sure did.
Frustration must have set in.
Back to Brian Glass, the leader, who's just loafing around here. He's got such a big lead that he's saving fuel. 14 to go. But second place, Gary Kipfer is just 6 seconds behind him now, 6 1/4. Going to be interesting here come to the end.
Thinking Brian will let him get within like 2 seconds and try to hold.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Brian Glass might have been aware that Chris McCulloch had crashed and somehow figured, you know what, I can lift. These guys are way behind me. He can go pretty slow before Gary would catch him.
Let's see, he is keeping him about 6 seconds in front of Gary there.
Yeah. Just 12 to go now. Here at Darlington, the Get Her Done Racing League. Brian Glass, your leader, the bull. Picking him up and putting him down, just getting it done. Mike Everhart in 5th is, I believe, your last truck there.
No, he's your first lap. Mike has 1 lap down to Gary.
Okay. Got the wrong data.
I'm showing blue.
Yes, for sure.
Kevin Boomer coming down pit lane, and looks like is he underpowered?
I think so. That looks like it's sitting funny.
I hear an engine. Okay.
Boy, that thing is beat up. And that one is not. Gary is now just 4 seconds behind Brian Glass.
Brian's shutting it off. Brian is shutting it off.
Is he?
He's shutting it off in the turn.
You know what I think? I think he wanted to make a splash and go, and I think he missed the pit stall, and he realized, I just got to try and stick it out. Gosh, wouldn't it be something if it got away?
Brian is shutting it off in the entrance of each turn, turns 1 and turns 3. But Gary Kipfer 2.6 away.
It's happening.
You can hear that truck coasting across there. He's definitely shutting it down or clutching it, one or the other.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be very interesting. I don't know if Gary can catch him, really. He's coming, but there's only 10 to go.
Yeah, but he's coming. He's coming.
This is going to be interesting after all that. 2 trucks out in front of the thing the whole way through. And now we're coming down to Brian Glass just leading Gary Kipfer here by a couple seconds. Less than 2 now, down to just about 1.5 seconds. Between the two of them, there you can actually see Gary Kipfer in the frame. Mike Everhart between the leader and Gary's truck there in second.
Mike should be watching his mirror and get the hell out of the way for this.
Yeah, this is one of those times where you got to let the other. You got to get out of the way. Don't get in the way of the show.
7 laps to go with a 1.46. He's still clutching or shutting.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Everhart coming up.
Let Everhart go. He's got to let Mike go. Oh, gosh, here comes Gary. I think Gary Kipfer's in position to win this race. If he can get through the last couple laps here. Oh, I bet Gary Kipfer's heart is pounding right now.
Stay out of the way, Mike. Stay out of the way.
You'd like to see that.
0.5 between first and second, with a lead lap car in between.
And Brian doesn't want to let Everhart go by. He's got to open a lane for him to do so. And Kipfer's going to take it if he does.
Yeah.
He's got to keep the both of them behind him, I think.
He absolutely does. If he lets up to let Mike's go or doesn't get the proper entry, it's going to mess his whole thing up, and Gary's going to be all over him at a 0.38 difference right now between 1 and 2 with 5 to go.
And Bull is lifting real early in the straightaway. Watch Mike Everhart close about halfway down the straightaway. See, Bull's out of the gas. He's getting out of the gas. early to try and make it. I don't know if he's going to make it on fuel.
He couldn't have Mike all over him like that. That just messed everything, up.
Yeah, you're going to make a mistake. And that ain't even the guy you're racing. Now it's real. Now it's real. Gary Kipfer in the number 9 Napa truck all over Brian Glass, the bull in the number 12 Kodak truck.
With a
4 laps to
0.3.
go here at Darlington.
0.3 gap, 0.1 gap. Gary's
No
got
gap.
him.
Kipfer looking low.
Doesn't want to take that low entry. He will slide up, especially this late in the run.
That's not how, you can't pass him that way at Darlington, man. There's no dive bombing under him here. See, he gapped back. I didn't get back, take another run at it. We saw Ed Adams do that earlier in the race. Same thing. Try to dive under. Get the truck all out of whack. Get it all pushed up. Lose your momentum. Got to gather yourself up and try and get him again. Here he comes.
Brian's taking a defensive position there. If you look, came off and made sure that Gary didn't have a look-see on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Focus on corner exit here, Gary. Corner exit's where it's at, man. Driving it in harder is not the answer here.
2 laps to go.
Harder. 2 to go. Two to go. Gary Kipper in second place, looking to hunting down Brian Glass. Ed Adams in third, still on the lead lap. Vern Margheim fourth, and Mike Everhart in fifth.
We got one hell of a race here with 1 lap to go as they cross the stripe.
White flag this time. There they go.
Gary drove it in hard.
He sure did. Closed that gap right up. Now the bull knows now. He's got to just drive the hell out of it. And if it runs out of gas, it runs out of gas.
We got a 0.2 and dropping. 0.1, 0.0.
He's out of gas.
It's on the outside.
Car's out of fuel.
Oh my God! Brian the Bull Glass loses it on a fuel mileage run. Gary Kipfer.
The 12 truck is out of gas. Gary Kipfer wins on the last lap of fuel mileage race. I can't believe it.
Great job, Gary.
Wow. Wow. Guess it's going to be a great post-race interview here, Coco.
Now there's some racing for you, buddy.
I'm telling you, man, that was a great race, dude.
Good job, Brian. Trying to save that fuel, bud.
So just a real quick wrap up. We got Gary Kipfer, our leader, our winner, followed by Brian No Fuel Glass at the end of that race with Ed in second position and Ed Adams in third position. Great job by our top 3.
Excellent.
Ed, I goofed up on my pit stop and I slid too far forward on that last pit stop when I came in behind Vern.
Bomber, I was looking to see where
Gary enjoying himself there, getting lined up for his
I
pick.
slid too far forward and had
Doing the obligatory burnout,
issues getting
the
into
required victory lane picture.
He lights him up as he has the fuel to do so. Okay, so Gary has to practice his donuts, I think.
Right. He's doing car owner donuts. So like, hey man, don't tear up the motor, don't rip up the drivetrain. Just let everybody see you and get it back here.
Good job, everyone. See you guys tonight.
All right, well, we'll try to get you some post-race interviews here, see who stuck around for us.
I'll bet you Gary Kipfer stuck around. I got to go talk to my sponsor for just 5 seconds. I'll be right back.
Coco and Todd. I am doing good, man. Little refreshments down here on pit lane. How are you guys doing?
We're doing okay. We love the run you had today. What, top 3, third position? Good job, man. Come down to fuel mileage in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, that EOL turned out to just be too much to overcome, and I started running way too hard that when we first fired off, and then realized, oh, this is not going to work. So I had to throw the old parachute out.
Yeah, we were watching you the entire time and knew you were going after a fuel run whenever you popped in at 50 because you had 49.50, and then I figured you were the one with the gas mileage, and I knew Brian was short.
Yeah, just not short enough, was he?
No. So, Todd, what do you have for Mr. Ed Larson? Adam.
Yeah, we saw that, Ed. We saw you take that run low early on there, and then you kind of backed off, and we kind of saw that happen. Did you figure this was going to be fuel mileage, Ed, early on?
I think Todd might be running down to pit lane to get some interviews. Do want to say,
I'm
congratulations to Gary Kipfer, number 9, on that win. That's been a long time coming for that truck. So good to see that team up there. Congrats, number 2, Brian Glass. That was a hell of a race. Kind of a shame to lose it right there at the end, but he could have ran out of fuel a lap sooner. That would have been great.
Yeah, well, you did a great job, and I think Todd has taken care of it. But congratulations on a top 3 finish there, third position on the podium, man.
Did you know it was going to be fuel mileage early on, Ed, or did you just kind of fall into that?
I looked at the stats right before we started and had an oh fuck moment. And then when we fired off, I fired off way too hard, and then had an oh fuck moment. And then, like I told Coco there, I had to throw out the parachute and just save fuel, and I was just barely making my mark every single round there.
Great job, Ed. Top 3. Way to overcome that EOL. Good job, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Looking forward to hearing you in the booth again. Congratulations, Ed. And then we're going to jump over to Brian Glass, who's up here. Fantastic. Brian, how you doing, buddy?
What's happening, Coco?
I'll tell you what, buddy. I knew you were short. I just didn't know how short. I heard you. Were you shutting it off or clutching it through 1 and 3 there at the end?
I was doing everything, man. But, what I got to debating was, I should have just kept the hammer down and pitted, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no. You had a great race. You were the class of the field today, to be honest. You were out to an 18 or 19 second lead on that second place car for the entire race. Great run, Brian.
Yeah, the old Kodak Chevy ran good here at Darlington. Lady in Black, man. I like it. A lot of people don't like this place, but I do like it. Once you get the hang of it, it's a fun racetrack. I enjoy it. It's, you race the racetrack here. You don't really race the competition, and the racetrack kind of wears out the competition, banging off the wall, getting scratches here and there, getting stripes. But no, truck ran good all day long. And then, we pitted, and I was like, I ain't going to have enough gas. And then the second stop, I was like, I definitely ain't going to have enough gas. And, looking back, I think I should have kept the hammer down and then came in, maybe topped off just, a gallon or 2 and went back out and see how that did. Because what I did, I cannot save fuel. I'm horrible. I'm hammered. I can't save fuel. I dang sure can't save tires. But the Kodak Chevy ran good. I enjoy it. Get her done. It was fun.
That's
that
fantastic.
Was awesome.
That's good stuff, Brian. Todd, you have anything for Brian?
Brian, did you miss a pit entry at the end? Did you try and hit pit road and not make it, or was that just you backing out and trying to save?
Nah, I just backing out saving. I never missed it.
Great job, man. I'll tell you what, your truck was out front. It was clean, no scratches. Great run, man. Great job. And it was very exciting to watch. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Chevy ran good.
Brian, you want to shout out to friends, family, or anything, brother?
Oh, yeah, family. All my buddies watching. I got a buddy, Bake, watches a lot of races. What's up, Bake? It was fun.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for giving us a hell of a race to broadcast. And sorry you didn't take that one home. It was definitely yours to lose. But fantastic run, brother. Fantastic run.
You win some, learn some. Yes, sir. Had a great time, y'all.
All right,
Had a great interview, too, Brian. Shake and bake, man.
Yes, sir. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. All right, that brings us to our winner today, Gary Kipfer. Gary.
It's about frickin' time. I finished 3rd. I finished 4th. Oh, my God. It feels so good to get that monkey off my back. Whew.
So did you know Brian was short? Because we did.
I knew that he was at least 2 to 3 laps short, but he was starting to slow down, and so that man can be a magic man. So I didn't know if he was going to make it, so I was just trying to get on his bumper and push him as hard as he could. I don't think I could have passed him because the tires were worn, but I was just hoping I could push him hard enough for him to run out of gas.
I think that's exactly what you did. We watched you drive it in real hard with 2 to go, I think it was. You drove it in really hard to kind of see if you can close that gap. Your gap closed like a whole second in that little spot. Were you ready to get up on that wheel then?
Yeah, with 7 to go, I knew I could make it on fuel and that I probably had at least 1 lap to the good. So I decided at that point I wasn't going to save anymore. I was just gonna go and just stay on Mike's tailwind there a little bit, grab a little bit of draft, and hope for the best.
Well, Gary, I can't tell you how happy I am for you to have won today. We watched Brian just destroy the field, and then right there in the last 15, 20 laps or so, it was like, oh my God, this is turning into a real race, and here comes Gary. Awesome job, man. Awesome job.
Thank you. I was probably saving fuel the whole race, but that first run, I didn't want to get stuck back into the field. So, I didn't get as great gas mileage on that first run. Second run, I saved a lot on that second run. I think I got 50 laps in that second run. And so that made me feel pretty comfortable that I could go the last 49.
Yeah, we were watching you guys. Sorry, it was on the wrong channel, but yeah, we were watching you guys. We figured you needed 49.50, and Ed came in 49.50. I think you did the same thing, or close to it.
Yeah, I think I was 48 going into 49 that first run, and then I was 50 on that second run, and then that last run it was a 49, but I still had a gallon left and time to do enough gas to do the burnout, so that's all good.
Oh, we got to talk about your burnouts, but we'll do that on the side, brother.
Yes.
Oh, it sucked.
I said you do car owner burnouts, man, where it's like, don't tear the drivetrain up, don't mess that motor up, let everybody see it and bring it back to the hauler.
That was, I've never practiced a burnout in my life, so here goes nothing.
Nice.
Less clutch. Hey, listen, congratulations on a win. You well-deserved win. Great job out there. Way to handle that truck. And any shout-outs to friends, family, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I want to thank my teammates who's, helped me get so much better. I want to thank Mike, who's been so instrumental in teaching me how to race and get better as a driver. And I want to thank my wife for allowing me to spend her money.
That's a good shout out. All right, I think that's it for us in the booth. Todd, you have anything before we set him free?
I just wanted to make sure Gary knows that he also provides so much help to everybody coming into this league. New guys that do have experience, guys that don't. Gary's great admin, great job, man. Thanks for all the help you've given me and everybody else that joins in, man. Great win. Very proud of you. Awesome.
It's been a pleasure. You guys are fun to be with.
All right, Gary. Well, that's it for us here. I'm going to go ahead and start this sign off, move these guys down, and we'll go for our sign off. Thanks again, Gary. Congratulations on a win, buddy. You deserve it.
Thanks,
on 9.
All right, Todd. I think that cinches it up for us up here in the booth today.
I believe so. I'm calling that a great race, man. It's the way it's strung out and it stretched out there for a while. It's kind of like, okay, all right. And then, wow, man, at the end, it turned into a real barn burner there for the win by Gary. And I'm real happy with it. I want to thank everybody for watching. My son, Daniel, everybody that may be tuned in. And thank you, Coco, for having me. Get her done.
Get her done. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Whatever. Hope you enjoyed what we had to offer. So from everybody here at Get Her Done Racing, I want to say be safe, be careful, have fun. Bye-bye.